There's no way he would make the same joke again. He just admitted that what appears was very possibly Nibiru, and he even added again that sleuth does not censor such things out of the public's view like NASA does. Also, I have to add that sleuth has a global network of observatories, and one of these observatories is located in Chile. If you have been following the topic of Planet X, you would have known that its system is located below the ecliptic planes, and therefore, when it approaches, it is best seen from somewhere in the southern hemisphere. In other words, sleuth is very well equipped to spot the inbound system of Planet X, and there is no humor here. There's no point to make the same jokes about NASA twice in one show in such a dry manner. It's as if the fact that NASA censors things is too normal for people in the fields like Mr. Cox to know. Now you see, Paul Cox is not the only scientist to have talked about Planet X. In fact, since before modern time, astronomers has already calculated that something big is lurking in the darkness of space out there, causing the distorted orbit of the gas giant Uranus and Neptune. One of the most renowned astrophysicists of the last centuries also approved the existence of an incoming system of celestial bodies. I don't know if you have heard of Carlos Mundo Ferrada. He is very well known for having calculated correctly many natural events on Earth and in space. For example, in January 1939, he forecasted that there would be a disastrous earthquake in Chile on the 24th of January of that same year. And guess what happened? It did happen. A huge earthquake shook Chile for 18 seconds, killing 40,000 people. He successfully calculated many other terrestrial extreme events, but that's not all. He even forecast correctly that Halley Comet's orbit would alter. It would spend more time closer to the Sun in 1986. What's more terrifying that he said Nibiru is real. He calculated Apocalypse, and he said it was coming. He first mentioned it in the 1940s, 40 decades before NASA's first ever announcement. Now you can watch this very interesting footage, which was an interview with him in his last years.
Cálculos y con todo, la órbita de este cometa planeta. Porque usted nos habla y nos dice que es cometa planeta porque su movimiento no es algo normal.
No.
Que tiene unas velocidades.
Es un cometa planeta porque tiene órbita elíptica como cometa. Y porque tiene gran masa.
Como planeta.
Como planeta. Yo lo llamo entonces planeta cometa. O sea, un planeta con cola.
Explica Muñoz Ferrada que este gran astro que se acerca cargado de energía cósmica no cumple las leyes de la mecánica celeste establecidas. Posee una órbita elíptica y viaja entre nuestro Sol y un Sol negro que se encuentra a 32 billones de kilómetros.
Entonces aquí en este gráfico usted nos muestra, en el gráfico, ¿verdad?, de que en este lado está la Tierra, la órbita de nuestra Tierra alrededor del Sol.
Sí, señor.
Y que él penetra en la órbita terrestre, aquí, pasando muy cerca de nuestra Tierra. Entonces tarda
A 14 millones de kilómetros.
14 millones de kilómetros. Entonces acá usted en su gráfico nos presenta lo que es la estrella muerta o el sol muerto. En ese sol muerto él gira.
Aquí a 92 kilómetros por segundo.
Entonces, además de esos 92 kilómetros por segundo, él tiene otra velocidad, que es la más aterradora, ¿verdad? Que es la que se mueve muy rápido.
Tres puntos triangulados de alta sismicidad que se aproximan. El norte de la costa del Mediterráneo, Francia y España. La costa sur del Pacífico, de Valparaíso a Arequipa. Y Java, Sumatra y Borneo. 3 puntos. Estos puntos van a ser terremotos de carácter volcánico.
So to sum up the main points, Planet X is, according to Florida, a comet planet so called because it has the mass of a planet but an orbit like a comet. This thing does not meet the celestial law that is known to man, and it will cross by the Earth so close that the naked eye can see it. Mr. Faraday also calculated three major earthquake points when Hercules arrived, which are the northern area of the Mediterranean, the southern area of the Pacific, and Java, Sumatra. Note that Mr. Faraday said it would be visible to the naked eyes, thus all our second sun sightings, even via telescope of sleuth. On April 22, 2016, the well-known Russian aerobatic team Russian Knights rehearses for May 9th Victory Parade, and they capture a very visible sense of the approaching Planet X.
You saw Dubai get darker and darker, and that was just the sun setting. Here we are with the live views from the solar telescope just behind me. It's what SLU members are going to watch every single day from now on. And you can see there the sun is on the left. You can see the small black dot, which is just to the right of center of the sun. That is the tiny orb of Mercury. Mercury, you now know so many interesting and fascinating facts from SLU astronomer Bob Berman. You'll be able to tell all your friends. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is that large round thing to the right of the sun? Well, that's our second sun. I don't know if you knew that we had a second sun, but there it is. It's normally hidden from view. NASA and other organizations, they usually hide that stuff away from us. They don't tell us the truth. But
What's up guys, it's JT here at X Science, and the video clip I have just shown you is just another concrete solid evidence that something big is coming to us in the sky, and it will look just like a second sun. And NASA is hiding everything from the public. Why I am so sure? Well, because the guy in the clip is astronomer Paul Cox. Who is Paul Cox, you ask? He is English, and he hosts many shows about astronomy, including practical astronomy with Paul Cox, and he manages most aspects of sleuth engineering. Sleuth is an international organization that runs several robotics telescopes in places with good seeing, such as the Canary Islands, and use them for live shows of events of public interest. All this to tell you that we have a valid and recognized astronomy admitting in public that another big celestial body is out there, heading our ways, and all the second sun sightings around the world are harbingers of Judgment Day. We were right all along, and NASA, ever since 1983, had been hiding everything from the public, just so the elites can keep the crowd under control and assure their group interest. Anyway, back to Mr. Cox now. After his very bold announcement, many news outlets tried to get the public to believe that he was joking. They call it a dry British humor done in a deadpan way with only one or two sentences. The explanation they gave was that the second sun Mr. Cox was pointing at was nothing more than a problem with the reflections of one of the telescopes asleep during that event. Oh, for your information, that event was broadcast live and it was the chances of Mercury. Back to the debunk that everything was a joke. I want to show you this following footage and you can tell me whether or not it is one.
Вот и в Норильске июль месяц, 20 число, 18 год.
Два смерча в Бердянске на средней косе. 16 июля 2008. Puting beliung, ya Allah, ya Rabbi, astagfirullahaladzim.
Week after these sightings, the Norfolk Skybeam, which was facing southwest, captures again the system of Planet X, this time even with chases of debris fields of iron oxide surrounding it. On the exact same day, the Sonia's observatories in Brasileiros captured the object. You see, the amount of evidence as well as people in the field who admit it is surprising abundant. I'm not going to show any more footage for today because you can go and find second sun footage as well as wind globes all over the place. Just keep a mindful eye because sometimes people can mistake a lens flare for a second sun, so again, make sure your source is credible. That's all for today, guys. These very bold statements and calculations by renowned scientists from different times should probably be convincing enough for you to be certain that the question is not whether there is, but when a system of rogue planets will come into contact with planet Earth. So again, I suggest that during your free time to do your research.